Otakuology podcast with Otaku Mike and Jin Graves.
And then the show began. What's up, guys? Jin here with my buddy, as he likes to say. I should start as you one time. I'm so dumb. I put my finger up to my lip to simulate a mustache. my heterosexual life partner, Otaku Mag. I put my finger back up in front of my fucking lip. God damn it. I'm doing it to simulate your really cool mustache.
Okay.
Because, you know,
Hey.
mine's not thick enough.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Otakuology podcast.
Anyway, guys, today's show, we're going to talk about 10 anime that overstayed their welcome. And we're going to throw a little bit of ours in there, too, because this is just a list, and I don't know if both of us fully agree with it or not. But
I don't know if I fully agree with it, but we got this from Comic Book Resource, where it seems we get a lot of our lists from nowadays. They like to do a lot of clickbaity lists.
that's
And
true.
your boy Otaku Mike clicks on a lot of them and is like, hey, potential topic for the podcast?
Right.
And that's where we got,
Yeah.
This is about all the anime that's overstayed their welcome. Quotations overstayed their welcome. Because I feel like this is very much opinion based,
Right.
not factually based.
So we're going to go over the top 10 that they have, and we're just going to go down the list. But it's really, I think that they put this list really in no particular order. People like to put lists and do that and say, oh, but some stuff, whenever it's like things like this, it almost just seems like a round robin. Hey, we can pick whatever the fuck we want, kind of thing. And then as we go at the end of this, half of the show, me and Mike will probably tell you like what we think, not in this list, but other stuff of what we think has overstayed its welcome, things like that. So
there's one on here that I kind of want to get to, and I feel like it's like an outlier and an oddball on the list.
Is it number 2?
No, we'll get to a little bit maybe, but we'll get to it. It's actually number 4.
So I just want to tell you guys, starting out, I already don't like this list because
I normally don't like Comic Book Resource lists at all.
I just don't like this list because they say 10 anime / and I would say manga as well that overstayed their welcome. But the thing is if we're really looking at it, it's long series, it's popular series that have been around that people have watched.
Yes.
And it's old series or series that people just like love to hate, kind of, sort of. So,
yeah, I would say.
That's the weird thing in this list is there's no finite way to actually say what's overstayed its welcome. Because originally when Mike sent this to me, I'm sitting there thinking like, is this going to be stuff like that has been around forever, like One Piece or something like that? And somebody thinks that it's overstayed its welcome. And then I'm like, well, there's not really that many things that have capped 50 manga or so. So this is going to be a short list. I wonder what the 10's going to be. But just some other stuff. And I was like, I'm kind of confused, but
I mean, to be honest, I feel like I'm a little confused with this listing. But I also feel like maybe this person who wrote it is possibly a newer fan. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? But we can kick off this list. Number 10 is fucking Bleach. And y'all know me. I'm not a big fan of shonen manga or shonen anime.
So this is one thing I want to throw at you before we
Uh-huh.
get too deep into this. Do you think it's overstayed its welcome by how long it is, or how bad it started getting at the end, or the fact that it's getting a resurgence?
I think all of the above, to be
Okay.
honest. Because one, Bleach started out very, very strong. Then after a certain point, it lost me. Like I watched the anime. I would go to the video store and rent the anime, disc by disc. They would come out in
Right.
each volume. I got past the Soul Society arc, and after that, I was like, this is fucking shit. I don't want to read. I don't want to watch this.
I
And
love Kikamundo.
okay, whatever.
That's
But
the second one.
as everybody says, Bleach very much is a victim of the filler arcs, the filler seasons, I guess you could say.
That's
And
true.
and I always felt like Bleach was playing like was the third wheel in the Shonen Jump big three. It was the third wheel, and
That's
it kept getting pushed down the ranks, in my
that's
personal
true.
opinion. Now I feel.
Well,
Go
and
ahead.
and I want to add this in there. I really think that because of how popular it was, it kind of got stuck on that whole thing like Yu Yu Hakusho, where if you left it up to the creator to actually say, "Hey, I want to be done with this at this point," or whatever,
Yeah,
before it runs all the way down to like spot 10 or 20
yeah,
or whatever it is, where they're like, "Yeah, it's not popular anymore. Just kill off the series." Um, I think that should be an option, but
uh
it
huh.
wasn't
So I
because
mean,
they
like
just kept
you,
going.
you remember, like the ending to Bleach was really rushed. The anime got canceled, and like everybody, like people, fucking turned on Bleach so fast
It's true.
after it ended. And there are like those like diehard like people out there who are like the stands for Bleach, and like it did get that big resurgence. I have no idea if it's good or not because I refuse to watch it. I have no idea.
Well,
You
the other
know,
thing is, even if it's a resurgence, I think they're still only going off of the manga,
are they?
which that just means that if they're finishing off the manga, it doesn't get better. So,
Who knows? Who knows?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was a big Bleach fan. I rode that ship till it sank, and then I was like, "Well, I'm glad somebody put this door here. Get off the door, Jack."
So yeah, there's that. I personally do feel like Bleach overstayed its welcome. But it's personally not my bag. It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea, to be honest. I,
Yeah.
I feel
Well,
I feel I feel like the Bleach fans have overstayed their welcome as well.
as the person that of the two of us that enjoyed it,
Yeah,
I agree too. I
yeah,
don't know if I would throw it. I don't know if I would throw it on a list like this. Maybe like a put it on like a B tier list or something, or a C tier
yeah,
list, but I don't know if I would say it overstayed its welcome because it did. It was one of the ones that actually helped out a lot of other stuff we have modern day.
yeah. No, I
So,
get it. I get it.
um, but moving on, and for anybody listening, I know we covered 10 already, but this list that we're going off of was published May 16th, 2023. So, just for reference, I mean, it was posted like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like we should do it like uh oh shit, what's it called? Where they go number 10.
No, I can't hold on. Hold on. Number
Number
9.
Yeah, but who does that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
And it's like in today's stuff, da da da, we cover the top 10, da da.
Number 9 is Pokemon, and I'm just gonna put this out right there right now. I don't feel like Pokemon overstayed its welcome. I feel like Ash Ketchum overstayed his welcome.
You take that back right now. So I am not gonna get on that boat because I think it just started getting worse over time.
Although I feel some people say it's picked up in the last couple seasons.
I'm on the fence. I do think that the most recent one with Go was a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that, it already took a hard hit with
Yeah.
changing the character designs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Doing some other stuff like the Lola region and how Ash looked in that and whatnot, and going from like kind of like what we knew that he looked like when it started, and then
Yeah.
him becoming like a twig boy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I think in instances it overstayed its welcome, in other
Yeah.
instances it didn't, because Pokemon is always going to be a good series.
Yeah.
But I think just with part of the stuff, kind of as you said, it overstayed its welcome. Um, but
This.
as we look at other ones on the list, I
Yeah.
think I'll be able to say more about this one, because I really don't want to say certain things just yet until we get to some of the other ones on the list.
I do have to say though, this next one, which is number 8, which is Yu-Gi-Oh, which they're kind of putting in like the entire franchise of Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah,
not just like the first like big Yu-Gi-Oh with Yugi in it. They
right,
put all
right.
of it in there. I feel like it started to overstay its welcome after what was the one where they had the school?
I agree.
What was the one
I
with the
agree.
school?
That was Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
Okay, see, I didn't think that one was terrible, but we also got like a edited like version of that where like we missed like an entire season of that, I believe. We didn't even get that.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure we got all of it.
I don't think we did. I have to go back and look at it, but I think Yu-Gi-Oh does deserve a spot on this list, regardless if you don't like it or not. But I do like it that they take swings with their different card battling, like their motorcycles and stuff,
Definitely
And
not. I don't. That's one of the things I don't like.
actually, I hate that part too. I'm just just
Uh,
being
yeah,
generous.
yeah. I hate that they've changed the game so much that it's not like what it was
Well,
when I
it's
first played it.
it is basically to sell cards. That's what it is. It's to sell the card
Yeah,
game.
yeah, and but it's gone downhill. I mean, card game included, I think.
Like nobody like
Um,
references the manga anymore.
but this is the one right here though that I would say with Pokemon that I have to agree with this one more so
Yeah,
because of so many changes. I think if this one would have stayed more true to the source material, the original stuff, and didn't try and keep up with the card game,
yeah.
this one would have been really good.
I think it would have been really good, and it wouldn't had so many different like spin-offs.
Right.
Because that original
Um
manga isn't that long.
well, it is and it isn't. It's
Yeah,
broken into three different parts.
yeah, yeah.
So, which come to like 37 volumes of
Mm-hmm.
it go.
Yeah.
Um,
So
this
go
is
ahead.
the one though with Pokemon that I was waiting for,
Mm-hmm.
um, because we had kind of the same idea going through it, basing it off of this game versus like Pokemon, where we had one character that everything was based
Yeah,
off of, and then we changed the world around them, so to speak.
yeah.
Um, I feel like we could have got a better happy medium in between both of these, honestly.
It's a possibility. Yeah, I know. I have to
Um,
agree with that.
I mean, I
Uh,
think I think really if we would have gotten a better story of just swapping up the characters, kind of like you said with Ash. I mean, Ash
yeah,
is a great character and whatnot, and I think he did his due justice. But after we started getting so childish with it, where now we're just doing this for da 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 da, and the other characters kind of the cast, we could have kicked Ash out anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I would have much liked to follow like Brock or Misty's story a little bit and had like a season or a OVA kind of thing of that stuff, and seeing some of these other characters a little more and kind of how they did,
Hmm.
and versus
You know,
staying with Ash the
it's
whole
funny.
time.
It's funny that you say that because they did have that. It was called Pokemon Chronicles, and it
Yeah, I
lasted like
saw that.
lasted like a season or two. So they did have
Yeah,
that. So the
yeah.
next one we have is one that I actually do not like, and I feel like it should be number one on this list, and that is Sword Art Online.
You know how many people probably just unsubscribed from us with that comment?
I so I I watched the original Sword Art Online, the first season and through the fairy arc or whatever it's fucking called, and I
Yeah,
was like, this series should have ended right then and there. They should have never went back into the internet at all, and it should have just ended. Like it wasn't even like
so so
I
I want to
fucking
point
hate this show so much.
I
Ugh.
I want to point one thing out about this.
What?
So I feel like this is the dumb cousin to my favorite show that kind of did the same idea, which
Uh-huh.
is it wrong to pick a girl up in a dungeon?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because it was not misleading on the fact of what they were actually doing versus like maybe this one would have been a little better if up front we knew like the whole video game aspect of it
Hmm.
and
Like
whatnot and actually held to that, but this one is a little too much video gamey.
for people who were stuck in an MMO for like quite a while, and you should definitely have like some severe like PTSD and anxiety from playing video games. And it would not make me want to go back if I saw people actually die.
Right.
But I mean, let's move on because
Well,
I kind of want to talk about this next one.
well, and let's just look at it. Log Horizon was the superior one where they did stuff like that. So
I mean,
all I'm gonna say,
Log Horizon's not one of my favorites, but I do agree with you in that aspect.
it's probably because you haven't read the manga,
Yeah, I don't really
because you
care.
cause, because it's totally different than the other stuff. I hate how. Let me just go on it right here for a second.
Well, we
I
only have
hate I
27 minutes left to record, so make the rant short.
okay, that's long. That's long enough. 27 minutes later. Boop. Um, I hate how a lot of anime nowadays, though, too, we also chop shop it to shit
Oh yeah,
because there are so many ones that I've talked to friends about, and I bring up stuff from the manga, and like that never actually happens.
yeah.
It's kind of like the shit that you and I talked about in our 100th episode for Ekin,
Oh
where
yeah.
you're telling me all this stuff, and then I'm like, "But where's the family aspect of it? Where's this? Where's that?" And you're like, "That's not in there." You know, it got chop to shit to look like it was supposedly a better thing when it actually made it worse. Which is
Hmm.
what I've been finding out more and more about, like Log Horizon and Slime and some other shows that should be
Yeah.
ones that are really good, but they chop shop it and go, we don't really need this part, you know.
No, I get it. I get it. But I mean, every adaptation is kind of done that way. Almost, it's just a majority of them are. You know,
I know, but the problem with that is too. Then why do we have to have stuff quote unquote called filler if we have enough material? You're just choosing not to put it in there,
true, true.
you know. So
So number 6 is Code Geass. Have you ever watched this anime?
I have.
So in the article, they said that they put this on here because of the movies, the recap movies, and the recap movies changed the ending to the original series. Which I've never seen the recap movie, so I don't know really what to say about this. Is other than that, I've
Yeah, I didn't know there were recap movies.
yeah, like I this like I'm a big fan of like mecha anime, and,
Yeah.
and this is one that I do not like.
This one for me is
But I don't think it's
it's all
overstayed its
right.
welcome whatsoever. Like
No, I agree.
I watched it.
I agree.
Yeah.
This is one of those though. Like I said, it's enjoyable, but it's still kind of a You know, it's not one that I would automatically choose to watch.
Yeah, no, I get you. So
Um,
number 5, do you want to talk about
number
Code Geass more?
number 5. Well, the only thing about that I was going to say too is the fact that I mean, it was kind of like originally we had the Snyder cut, and then they hacked it to bits, and then we had whatever Justice League came out to be. So
I mean, yeah, you can
that's
say it
kind of
like
what
that.
it sounds like these
Yeah.
recap videos turned into.
Well, a lot of anime get recap movies most of the time. Like
We don't need it.
recap movies are big in Japan for some reason.
We don't need that shit.
But
Get it out of here. We don't need it.
we have number 5,
Number 5,
which is Berserk.
Berserk.
I mean,
I can't say no, but I want to say no because I didn't even know about Berserk till the longest time. So it's been a part of my life for maybe the last 5 years, 6
yeah.
years that I've actually known about it.
Well, for them, they
But
were talking about the anime, not the manga. So they were talking about the anime from the 90s, and they had the new films that basically retold the original anime, but a little bit more detailed and stuff.
oh, I know. I'm just saying because the manga came out before
Yeah,
that to kick off the
yeah,
anime,
yeah. No, I know.
and that's been around for fucking ever too.
We could definitely say the manga might have overstayed its welcome.
We could say all that's overstayed its
Yeah,
welcome.
I mean, I do not hate Berserk personally.
I
I
really
do
don't want
not.
to say this, but I don't think anybody will understand it unless I do say this.
Uh-huh.
It kind of overstayed its welcome so long that the original mangaka didn't get to finish it.
Yeah, which is sad. I think that's the
True.
sad part. That's the sad part is he didn't get to finish his
True.
magnum opus.
True, I agree.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's
agree.
not much more we can say about Berserk, to be honest.
This is true.
So this is the one where I have a problem with it, not because I don't like it. It's that why is Boruto on this list?
I agree with you because if
This is
Boruto is on this list, why isn't Naruto on this list?
Like, it's supposed to be anime that overstayed their welcome. Are we counting Boruto as part of Naruto, or is Boruto its own standalone series?
I think its own standalone series.
Okay. One thing I will say is I kind of feel like they rushed into Boruto a little bit. And they're like, "Hey, make this new series for us." But like, only kind of be involved in it, And then we I feel like it was too fast to move into Boruto.
It was too fast, too furious.
Yeah.
But I will say this with that. One of the other ones that we will cover later on, I'm not going to name it just yet, but it was another series that the original creator kind of gave other people the lenience of kind of continuing their series, just like Boruto did.
But he
And
came.
then,
Is it Sakamoto or Kishimoto?
both of the guys for both
Yeah.
these series came back,
Yeah,
and
Kishimoto came back
because somebody took it. Something that's not on this list, like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. So they took it and people hated it.
So it was good, and then we got it with episode 4 or book 4 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
With what's her face, and it kind of wrecked it. I mean, that's what happened with Naruto and Boruto and this other one that we'll name here in a little while.
Well, Kishimoto came back for Boruto, and he's writing it, but he's not drawing it.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is the other one that we haven't covered yet on the list. Same thing happened.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like people give the licenses and the lenience to, hey, you can continue this, but the person that they're giving it to doesn't have the eye to continue the work
Yeah.
as best as they could, you know.
I just feel like this is kind of like a weird one on the list,
Number
but
3.
no, number 4 with Boruto. But with number 3, I like number 3 on this list a lot. But I'm still
I
kind of surprised it's still going on.
well, I'm not,
Uh huh.
and I'm only going to say that because of reading the manga.
Yeah.
So we'll get in. So number 3 is Case Closed.
Yeah.
And so the thing that I have to say about that is Case Closed originally, and if you read the little things at the end of it of how the creator actually got inspiration for part of what he does, he actually reads a lot of mystery novels himself. So to be able to make them fun and impactful and everything else off of all these other books that he's read and grown, of course he has all these different mysteries and things
Yeah.
that are built up. So he probably hasn't even went through all of his stockpile, and to be able to read it and every time jump back into it and enjoy
Mm-hmm.
the stories as it goes forward here and here and here and here and here, I don't think you can really be mad and say that it's overstayed its welcome because of how good of that it is. I mean, if you really think about it, the guy has impeccable pacing of his stuff, you know, compared to a battle manga where it's
Well, it's been going on
uh
for what, over 30 years? I think the book's been running for, I think, or the show's been running for.
I think so, yeah,
Yeah.
cuz the book they have like I think 3 or 4 come out every year,
Yeah.
and I mean we're up to like 80 something or more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's slowly one of those that a lot of people, even though it's run longer than One Piece, by the time
Mm-hmm.
One Piece ends, I'm pretty sure Case Closed will actually engulf it.
Maybe. Who
That's
knows?
the crazy thing about
Who
it.
knows? Like, I don't
But
think it should be on because it's so episodic.
yeah,
Like, so, like, it's not like telling like this big overarching story. It's telling little stories, like a lot like Usagi Yojimbo, basically.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
Um.
agree. Or Lone Wolf and Cub. You
Yeah.
know,
Or Lone Wolf and Cub. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Uh.
like I said, his pacing though is impeccable because while we have a little bit as it's going, we're given little bitty scraps of breadcrumbs or whatever, like
Yeah.
Hansel and Gretel dropping them, and we're given those to get to this full story that we've never really gotten to the end of because it's still ongoing. And like I said, if you really think about this as a shonen manga and it being a quote unquote battle manga, he's having all of these little fights with guys that are at his level, and then he's getting a little more, and we're going forward and we're getting stronger and we're going and we're going and we're going. So we have this like almost like I want to say perfect pacing
Mm-hmm.
that this probably will be better than One Piece because at one point One Piece is going to be Luffy's going to become the strongest pirate in the world, and we will have no more pacing.
Yeah.
With Conan Edogawa, he's human. We're always going to have everybody on almost equal footing in this.
Yeah. No. I definitely agree with you on this point. The next one I have to say is FLCL or Fooly Cooly. Fooly Cooly was such a short anime. I do feel like it kind of overstayed its welcome with the 2 sequel series or whatever they were in this
I didn't
aspect.
I didn't know that they had sequel series.
They had 2 sequel series. They came out like back to back. I could say that maybe it overstayed its welcome there, but Fooly Cooly was kind of wrapped up in a nice weird bow. I
Yeah.
don't I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Well,
I
and I don't know how long the sequel series were, but
I don't know
the
either. I don't know.
the original was only 6 episodes.
Yeah, there's only 6 episodes. So I mean, that one's I don't really have a full opinion on that one. This next one,
I I only have one opinion on that, and that
uh,
is the person that made this list needed to state a little more of why things were overstayed their welcome.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because you know, a little series that's 6, the only thing I can draw from that is you're saying that it overstayed its welcome because of how long people have enjoyed it. But if it's only 6 episodes and there's so many people that have enjoyed it, doesn't that kind of make it like an elite kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
because Fooly Cooly was like an oddity of its own within the anime community.
right?
Yeah.
And
So
it's
the
one of those
next,
things you can ask everybody to watch, and they will
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
episodes.
the next episode, I mean, next anime, the final anime on the list is Dragon Ball, which encompasses all of Dragon Ball Z, all of Dragon Ball,
Yeah,
all Dragon Ball, all the
yeah.
balls.
All the balls.
I think it
Yeah,
over.
we
I
got
think
a
it.
full sack.
I think it overstayed its welcome most definitely with towards the end of Z because he didn't want to do the rest of it. He wanted to stop with the Frieza saga. That's where he wanted to stop his book. He's been publicly said he wanted to stop it. And then they went and did GT, and now they're doing Super, which I mean, I feel like the Dragon Ball fandom has made Dragon Ball overstay its welcome,
I agree.
to be honest. Like,
I agree. Especially now that GT is also seen as it's not actually a thing.
yeah, it's not canon or whatever.
I mean, yeah, and a lot of people say if they tell you like what to watch, GT almost is never actually brought up as an actual thing.
Yeah, it's never. It's like a big old what if story, basically.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um, and then Super is this is the other one I was talking about, like with Boruto, that he kind of like handed it off to somebody else to like do
yeah.
Super, and they started kind of like shitting on everything, and he's like, "Oh, well, shit, let me step back in here. I gotta save my shit,"
Well,
you
like
know.
he wrote it, but he didn't draw it. Like
Uh,
he's
well,
even shit.
for Super, somebody else was writing it when it started.
Did they?
Yeah,
Or
like
did he?
same
No,
thing
he
with
wrote those two movies, which became the start of this Dragon Ball Super, I believe.
yeah the movies. I
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but then after that, whenever they actually had the show, the Super, it was passed to somebody else to do all that
Okay.
stuff,
Okay. And
and
he,
they started really shitting on it really hard,
yeah.
and he decided no 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 no, let me step back in and get Super back on its feet.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. Yeah, I mean that one in Boruto almost happened exactly the same way. The
Yeah, they
original
did,
creator
didn't they?
came back to fix it. Yeah,
Yeah, they did. That's
yeah,
crazy to think about that actually
yeah.
happened.
Well, and the other funny thing is with that is to think that you have such these profound mangaka, and they pass it
Yeah.
to somebody they believe is going to be able to cater
Continue.
it and make it, and they're going to be able to go forward with it and do all this, and then they have no idea, either they're green behind the gills or whatever, and they
Yeah.
don't know what to do with it. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like, you can't fill those shoes, and they completely shit on it, so
I get it. I get it. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot with like prolific runs in like comic books. Like, oh, the next person has to come and pick up, I don't know, like Death in the Family. After Death in the Family, who's going to come pick this up or whatever. Or like Daredevil Born Again, who's going to come pick that up. And like, are you going to shit the bed? Are you going to continue what these people started? Or are you going to do your own
right,
thing? But like, the fans will always compare you to these other people, you know? Like, oh,
right, and that
you're no Brian Michael Bendis.
See, and that's one thing that I hate is we with this stuff, it's different than American comics
Yeah,
because you can have a person that's written a superhero so long trying to get them back on stable ground, and then another writer come in and shit on it.
yeah,
Well, with all this, you've had one person be loyal to it, be able to get things, keep it on stable ground, make it climb a mountain and all this other shit, and then you put one other person into it. You go, hey, I'm passing you the torch, and then they start doing whatever it is, and it goes straight to the shitter, and you're like,
Oh no, yeah, most definitely.
how
How are we
how are you going to
gonna?
fix that? You know,
Yeah. How you gonna?
how do we patch that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, most
So
definitely. Yeah. So with that list being said, I have a few that I feel like deserve to be on this list. My first
honorable mentions.
honorable mentions, I guess you could say, is
Yeah,
the entirety of Tenchi Muyo.
you son of a
All,
bitch.
all the Tenchi stuff. I feel like should be on there. That is like a never ending like retread of all this stuff. Like Tenchi.
You son of a bitch.
Why was that
Low
yours?
low blow. No,
Oh, oh, I thought that was yours or something.
no. I like Tenchi. That's why I was like, oh,
Oh, I mean, Tenchi has overstayed its welcome quite a bit. We're just gonna end it like that.
yeah.
The next one I have to say is Ghost in the Shell. I don't
You
think we
son of a
need.
bitch.
I don't think we need the second Ghost in the Shell movie at all. Just
Ugh.
left it with the first one, and then had standalone complex, and then ended Ghost in the Shell there, and then not even do like Ghost in the Shell Arise. Ghost in the Shell Arise did not need to exist at all, in my opinion.
Childhood.
In
My childhood.
Ghost in the Shell Arise was like, I was in like post college when that came out.
Yeah.
And then my third one I would have to say is Gotcha Man. I feel like Gotcha like after the first Gotcha Man, there are two other Gotcha Man series, and then the new reboot series that came out.
I
Just
can't
just
I can't
have the
remember who Gotcha Man is.
Gotcha Man was like the Science Ninja Team Gotcha Man. They're the guys that had like the bird
Okay.
costumes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. So low blow for you.
Oh, okay.
Um Gundam.
Oh, I mean, I agree with that one, and I love Gundam.
Gundam has definitely overstated its welcome with many aspects of things.
Oh no, you are not wrong, and that one should have been on the list. Even though I love it, I agree with that aspect.
Um fuck. I had another one that was like on the tip of my tongue and I forgot it.
Uh huh.
One that I'm gonna put on this list only because it's the same thing as Boruto or whatnot.
Uh
I'm
huh.
gonna put Inuyasha, even though I really
Ooh,
love Inuyasha.
yeah, yeah.
Yashahime, I think, really kind of shit the bed on part of it.
Really, the anime?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of friends, and I hadn't even really fully gotten into it yet, and they're like, "Don't watch it. Don't waste your time."
Oh,
And I'm
see,
like, "I still want to watch that though."
I only watched a couple episodes of the anime, but I enjoyed the manga so far.
Right? See, and the manga is good. So whenever they were like, don't watch the rest of it, I was like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
What if
yeah.
I want to watch that?
I mean,
Um,
don't always listen to people. I mean,
another
except
one
for us,
that
listen to us.
I'm going to throw out there is actually two because they're all fucking the same thing, but in a different world.
Uh huh.
So to pair up with Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm going to say Bakuman.
Uh
The one with the little ball things that they throw out.
oh yes, yes.
That was around and had like a fucking resurgence and everything too. Now there's D&D figures that do the same thing like those. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's weird.
no, just let that shit die,
That's
please.
weird. That's
Just let it
weird.
die. And Beyblade.
Oh yes, no, yes.
I'm
Beyblade
definitely gonna
definitely.
throw that on there. I mean anything really with games is kind of in that way.
Yeah. No,
Um
I agree.
and one of my other ones that I'm going to throw on there just for shits and fucking giggles.
Uh huh.
Um, um, no, it's actually two, and it's only because of cosplay reasons. And while so many people fucking enjoy it and whatnot, or say that they do, I
Uh huh.
think they are actually killing it.
Uh huh.
Is going to be Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. I somebody who listens to this podcast really loves Demon Slayer a lot, and I don't like Demon Slayer. I think Demon
See,
Slayer.
See, but I like Black Clover, which is also in this
I
setup
think
with
Black
all of these
Clover has
too.
overstayed its welcome too.
But the problem is, I have to say, more so for me, is the overstaying of welcome of a bunch of these is actually the fan base.
I do agree with you on that one.
So, and so to end this very last one that has overstayed its welcome way too fucking much,
Mm-hmm.
Evangelion.
Oh, yes. Yes. Why wasn't that one on the list?
I don't know.
I mean, it's a well animated movie and like shows and stuff, but like, god damn, like those are not
It's
very. They're not very good.
it's overstayed its welcome though. I mean,
Yeah.
so that's what I would say based off of some of the shit that the person that wrote this list
Ooh.
put into effect with some of what I picked, along with some of the other things like remakes of them kind of being shitty,
Yeah.
and ones that I actually fully 100% get behind being just too fucking out there because of the fan base and everything else. So,
Yeah. Let me ask you: do you think we need lists like this?
not
So,
like this, no. Attack on Titan.
oh,
It's overrated.
Attack on Titan is Attack on Titan definitely overstayed its welcome. I have to say that. Why wasn't that on the list? Because they fucking milked that shit until it was like dry. There was dust coming out of the nipples.
Right.
Like
I agree.
seriously.
So, and another one that I want to throw out there, only because Pokemon was on the list, is going to be Digimon.
Oh, I slightly agree with that because I love Digimon, but I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Anyways, guys, let
thanks
us
for
know.
listening to our show.
Let us know what you think. Do you agree with this? Do you don't agree with it? Let us know. Let us know. Comments down in the comment section of whatever podcast platform you leave us a review, whatever you want to do. Um, this is a very interesting episode. We should do more of these,
Right.
Jin.
And
I think.
as
See,
always,
see you next
see you
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Fucking things.
So fucking stupid.